We're canceling your dad's day gift. You don't deserve it since you missed my son's recital, my sister texted. I'd been in the with my daughter that day. Family priorities, Mom added. So I replied, understood. Then I logged into the shared streaming services, car insurance bundle, and phone plan I'd been managing, all in my name. When I removed everyone at 11:47 p.m., we're canceling your dad's day gift. You don't deserve it since you missed my son's recital. My sister's text lit up my phone in that awful hospital blue light. I was sitting in the corner of the room, on a plastic chair, watching the heart monitor over my daughter's bed. A second bubble popped up. Family priorities, my mom added. I stared at the screen. The clock on the wall said 9:18 p.m. My daughter, Ava, was finally asleep after steroids and breathing treatments for an asthma attack that had come out of nowhere on the school playground. I could still see her face when they put the mask on. Wide eyes, trying to be brave. Little fingers clutching mine. My hands shook. My throat went tight. A nurse walked in to check her smiled politely at me, and left again. I typed one word. Understood. Then I put the phone face down on my leg and just sat there in the quiet hum of machines, planning everything I was about to take back. I'm Cliff, 38. I live in Kansas City. I design people's yards for a living. Patios, fire pits, those fancy low-maintenance gardens that look wild, but were actually measured down to the inch on my laptop. I'm a single dad to Ava, 9. She's soft-spoken, likes drawing houses and tiny trees, which I pretend isn't a direct copy of what I do for work. She apologizes when other people bump into her. She says thank you to automatic doors. My parents live across town. My older sister, Jen, lives 10 minutes from them with her husband, Mark, and their son, Ethan, who is the sun, moon, and rising star of the family. I used to be the responsible one, which was code for the one with good credit. It started small. 8 years ago, when I first switched to a family phone plan, I added my parents. It's cheaper altogether, I'd said. It was, for me. Then I added Jen and Mark. Then I bundled car insurance because I was the only one who qualified for the good driver discount. Then I set up all the streaming services, and, because I'm an idiot, I put them on my cards. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Prime, Spotify, even the stupid niche gardening one my dad watched twice in 2019. They were supposed to pay me back their part every month. Sometimes they did. Most months it was late, rounded down. Or, can we catch you next time? Things are tight? On top of that, there were the little things. Covering my parents' electric bill in August when the AC was running nonstop. Paying the deductible when Jen backed into a pole but didn't want her premiums to go up. Putting the deposit on Ethan's summer baseball camp because we'll lose the spot if we wait for Mark's next paycheck. Ava watched me do all of this. She watched me Zelle and Venmo and log into accounts at my mom's kitchen table while my dad patted my shoulder and said, "You're a good son." They never said I was a good dad. They barely said anything to Ava at all. On birthdays and Christmas, Ethan got drones and gaming consoles and name-brand sneakers. Ava got generic art kits and a sweater she'll grow into. They'd take grandkid photos for Facebook and somehow Ava would always be in the back, or cropped out, or "We'll get one with you later, sweetie." When she was 6, she drew a picture of our whole family and added my parents in the corner with speech bubbles that said, "Hi." Nothing else. No, "We love you." Just hi. I kept trying. I drove over for Sunday dinners. I brought dessert. I left extra cash in my parents' junk drawer when the fridge started making a noise. I told myself they'd come around. I ignored every sign that they already had, and I just wasn't included. They'd been punishing me ever since I refused the SUV. That was the start of the real shift. Last year, Jen called me in a panic because she and Mark had found a perfect used Tahoe. Leather seats, third row for all the cousins, built-in DVD player Ethan needed for long drives. They needed a co-signer. "It'll help our rate. You barely have to do anything. You know we're good for it," she said. I told her no. I just finished paying off my own truck. I had Ava's medical bills from the last asthma flare-up. I wasn't tying my life to their impulse purchase. Jen got cold. My mom got quieter. My dad stopped joking with me and started asking little pointed questions about my income. It was subtle, but it was there. They still expected the money, though. The phone plan stayed ours. The car insurance bundle stayed for the family. I kept paying. Then came the recital. Ethan had his big piano recital scheduled for a Saturday afternoon in June. They've been hyping it for weeks. Group texts, Facebook posts. My mom had a new dress picked out for it. I put it on my calendar. Ava was excited, too. She made him a card with a piano on the front, every key colored a different shade. That Saturday, at 1:07 p.m., I got a call from the school. Ava had had an asthma attack during recess. It escalated fast. By 1:34, we were in the ER. By 1:50, they were talking about maybe keeping her overnight. While we were waiting for the breathing treatments to kick in, I texted the family group chat. Me. At ER with Ava. Bad asthma attack. I'm so sorry, we can't make the recital. My mom replied with a single line. Mom, hope she's okay. Jen didn't respond. Mark didn't respond. My dad sent a thumbs-up emoji and a picture later of Ethan in his little button-up shirt at the piano, captioned, Our star. No one asked how Ava was doing. It was like I'd skipped a barbecue, not rushed my kid to the hospital. After the recital, they all went to dinner. I saw the photos pop up. Group shots with "So proud of our boy" under them. Ava was sitting in a hospital bed, coloring, the 4 taped onto her arm, while my phone buzzed on the tray table. She peered at the screen once when it lit up and asked, Is that about Ethan? Yeah, I said. She hesitated. Are they mad at you? I swallowed. No. They know you got sick. She nodded slowly, like she didn't really believe me, and went back to drawing. We were discharged close to 8:30 p.m. I carried her into the apartment, gave her a bath, set up the humidifier in her room, texted Jen once more. Me. We're home. Ava's okay. Steroids are working. I'm sorry I missed today. I'll call Ethan tomorrow to say congrats. No reply. At 9:18 p.m., the Dad's Day text came in. Jen, we're canceling your Dad's Day gift. You don't deserve it since you missed my son's recital. Another bubble. Mom, family priorities. It hit like a punch I should have seen coming. This wasn't about a gift. This was about the story they wanted to tell about me. Bad brother. Bad son. Bad father. All because when I had to choose between my nephew's performance and my own child breathing, I chose my child. I texted understood because there was nothing else to say that wouldn't turn into a screaming match in a hospital hallway. But in my head, something clicked. I wasn't going to argue about what kind of father I was. I was just going to stop paying for the people who thought they could decide it. Ava fell asleep halfway through a movie that night, propped up on pillows in my bed. Her breathing was a little wheezy, but steady. At 11:30 p.m., I moved her inhaler to the nightstand, turned off the TV, and went out to the kitchen. I made coffee, even though it was stupid o'clock. I pulled out my laptop and my phone and sat at the table we never used for company. It was time. First was the easy stuff. Netflix. I logged in and saw the profiles lined up in neat little rows. Mom and Dad. Jen and Mark. Ethan. Ava and Dad. I clicked Account, scrolled to sign out of all devices, and hit Confirm. Then I changed the password to something that wasn't a shared joke from 2014. Hulu. Same thing. Disney Plus. Prime. Spotify. Click, click, click. Each time, a small confirmation banner popped up. You've changed your password. You've signed out all devices. Little digital doors closing. Then the bigger stuff. The car insurance bundle. It had seemed like a good idea at the time. One policy, lower rates, everyone protected. Except I was the only policyholder. My name. My credit. My risk. I clicked into the Drivers and Vehicles tab. There it was. 2018 Toyota Tacoma, driver, me. 2012 Honda Civic, driver, Mom. 2014 Camry, driver, Dad. 2016 RAV4, driver, Jen. 2010 F-150 driver, Mark. I removed each driver who wasn't me. The site made me click through warnings. Removing a driver may cause changes to your premium. Good. Confirm. 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 By the end, it was just me and my truck left. The new monthly payment dropped to a number that made me want to laugh and cry at the same time. Then the phone plan. This one made my stomach twist. We'd been on the same plan for years. My parents. My sister. Mark. Me. Even a tablet line Ethan used in the car. I opened the carrier app. Primary account holder, Clifford J. Parker. 5 active lines. Total bill, ugly. I stared at it for a minute. This was the part that always felt complicated. Phone numbers felt like lifelines. I told myself I couldn't mess with that. Then I remembered my mom's text. Family priorities. Okay. I tapped chat with support. The rep popped up. Hi Cliff, how can I help you tonight? I took a breath and typed. I want to move my line and my daughter's line to a new account and schedule the other lines for deactivation at the end of the current billing cycle. We went back and forth for about 10 minutes. Security questions, PIN codes, identity verification. He tried to upsell me on a solo plan. I said fine, whatever. Just get my line and Ava's separated and marked as porting out. At 11:47 p.m., I got the confirmation email. Your account changes have been processed. 2 lines scheduled to move to a new, smaller plan in my name only. 3 other lines, my parents, my sisters, my brother-in-laws, set to lose service in 10 days if they didn't set up something themselves. I stared at the timestamp. 11:47 p.m. It felt important, somehow, like the minute my spine grew in. I took a screenshot. I didn't send any long speech to the family chat. I didn't announce anything. I just closed the laptop, rinsed my coffee mug, and went to bed. Ava rolled over in her sleep and tucked her fox plush closer. I lay down beside her and listened to her breathing, feeling the weight of a decade of helping finally slide off my chest. I didn't have to wait long for the fallout. At 7:12 a.m., Jen called. I was packing Ava's inhaler into her backpack. Her contact photo popped up on my screen. I let it go to voicemail. 30 seconds later, a text. Jen, Netflix isn't working. Did you change something? I ignored it. By 7:25, another. Jen, Hulu 2. What Cliff? Then my mom. Mom, Dad says the insurance app is acting weird. Did the payment not go through? By 8:03. Mom, my phone is saying no service in the kitchen. Did the tower go down? I turned my phone face down, poured Ava's cereal, and asked how her chest felt. Better, she said. Are Grandma and Grandpa mad at you? Why? I asked. She shrugged. They were mad in the group text last night. I forgot she could read everything now. I crouched down to her level. They were wrong about me. I said. They were wrong about you. That's their problem to fix, not ours. She studied my face for a long second, like she was trying to see if I believed it. Okay, she said finally, and went back to fishing marshmallows out of her cereal. At 9:15, my dad called. I let it ring out, then listened to the voicemail. Cliff, something's wrong with the insurance. I got an email saying the policy changed and our cars aren't on it. This isn't funny. Call me back. There it was. Not how's Ava. Not, we were out of line last night. Just the money. By noon, my phone was a war zone. Missed calls. Long texts. The group chat lighting up. Jen, wow. Petty much. Jen, over a gift? Seriously. Jen, this is about you missing the recital. Don't make it about something else. Mom, we didn't think you'd actually do something this extreme. Clifford. Mom, you're punishing all of us because you're sensitive. Mom, your father is furious. I took my lunch break in my truck, parked outside a client's house, and scrolled through the chaos. I typed one message to the group. Since you all think I'm a bad father, I'm done paying the bills that keep your lives comfortable. You're off my accounts. Get your own services. I hit send and put my phone away. No explanation. No argument. Just the truth. That's when the real panic started. They didn't give it a day. Around 6 p.m., there was a knock on my apartment door. Not a polite one. I glanced through the peephole. My parents. Jen. Mark. Ava was on the couch, coloring. She tensed when she heard the knock. I opened the door just enough to stand in it. My mom shouldered past me like I'd just forgotten to roll out a red carpet. We need to talk, she said. Jen followed, arms crossed. Mark hovered by the doorway, eyes darting around like he didn't want to be there, but also really did. My dad stayed on the threshold, jaw clenched. Ava looked up, small and hopeful. Hi, Grandma, she said. My mom gave her a stiff smile, and then turned back to me. What is this about the phone and the insurance? She demanded. Your father's account says he's not covered. My phone barely works. Your sister couldn't even put on a movie for Ethan this morning. Jen jumped in. He was in tears, Cliff. We had family movie night planned. Do you know how embarrassing it is when nothing works because my brother threw a tantrum? I felt something cold settle in my chest. They were really going to go with that. I didn't raise my voice. I took my name off your bills, I said. I'm not paying for your services anymore. My dad snorted. Over a missed recital, he said. You're going to burn the house down over one afternoon. It wasn't about the recital, I said. Jen rolled her eyes. Oh my God, here we go, she muttered. I looked at her. You texted me that I didn't deserve a Father's Day gift because I was in the ER with my child. I said. Mom backed you up. No one asked about Ava after that. This isn't about a gift. It's about the way you see me and my kid. My mom's mouth tightened. No one said we didn't care about Ava, she said. You're twisting things. You said family priorities, I reminded her. That's not what I meant, she snapped. You're always so dramatic. You always make yourself the victim. Ava's pencil stopped moving. I could feel her eyes on me. Mark finally spoke up. You could have talked to us, man, he said. Now we have to scramble for new insurance and a plan, and we're not exactly flush right now. There it was again. The money. How am I supposed to drive to work without coverage? My dad added. What if something happens? I looked at him. You should call an insurance company, I said. My mom took a step closer, lowering her voice like she was being reasonable. We are your family, she said. You don't do this to family. Your sister was hurt. Her son practiced for months. You don't just walk away from commitments and then punish everyone. Behind her, Jen murmured. Ethan cried when he found out you weren't coming, by the way. I wanted to ask if Ethan cried harder than my kid gasping for air with a plastic mask on her face. I didn't. I took a breath. I am done paying for a family my daughter isn't really part of, I said. You want phones, you pay for them. You want Netflix, you pay for it. You want cheap insurance, bundle your own cars. I'm not your backup bank. My mom's eyes flashed. Has this got something to do with that girlfriend of yours? She asked. The one with the opinions? Is she in your ear about boundaries? I knew she'd start turning you against us. Of course. Blame the woman who wasn't even in the room. I heard a soft snort from the hallway. Maya, my girlfriend, was leaning against the archway, arms folded. I'm just over here microwaving mac and cheese, she said. He did this all by himself. My mom shot her a look like she'd just found mold in the fridge. You don't understand how our family works, she said. Maya shrugged. I understand how inhalers work, she said. And ER bills. And I understand that if someone told me I didn't deserve to be celebrated as a parent because I chose my kid's lungs over a piano recital, they'd never see my Wi-Fi password again. Jen barked out a humorless laugh. This is insane, she said. You're going to cut us off over one text? You think you're some hero now? I shook my head. No, I said. I think I've been stupid for a long time. That stops now. My dad took a step forward. Reconnect the insurance, he said. At least that. We'll talk about the rest later. No, I said. His face reddened. Clifford, my mom said, using the tone that used to make me feel 10 years old. You're making a mistake. When we're gone, you'll regret this. Family is all you have. I glanced at Ava, who was quietly putting her pencils back in the case she always kept neat. No, I said again. She's all I have. And I'm done teaching her that people can treat her like she doesn't matter and still get everything they want from us. For a second, no one spoke. Then Jen grabbed her purse off the back of a chair, knocking Ava's sketchbook onto the floor. Come on, she snapped at Mark. Let's go. Let him play martyr. He'll crawl back when he realizes how alone he is. My mom gave me one last hard look, shook her head like she was disappointed in a weather forecast, and followed. My dad lingered for a moment. This isn't you, he said quietly. You're not like this. Yes, I said. I am. He looked at me like I'd slapped him, then turned and walked out. I shut the door, locked it. Ava padded over, picked up her sketchbook, and hugged it to her chest. Are they mad? She asked. Yeah, I said. They are. She bit her lip. Is it my fault? The words hit harder than any of their texts. I knelt down and pulled her into a hug. Hey, I said. Look at me. She looked up. You got sick, I said. That's not a bad thing. That's not your fault. I chose you. I'll always choose you. If anyone has a problem with that, that's about them, not you. Okay. Her eyes filled a little, but she nodded. Okay, she whispered. Maya came over and rested a hand on my shoulder. You did the right thing, she said. I know, I said, but it still stung. The next week was loud on my phone and weirdly quiet in my life. My parents tried a few more times. Long text from my mom. We didn't mean what you think we meant. You're throwing away family over a misunderstanding. Your father is hurt. Ethan is confused. Everyone is asking what's wrong with you. Please fix this before it's too late. I replied once. It's already fixed. You are off my accounts. I won't fund people who treat my kid like an inconvenience. If you want to be in our lives, start by apologizing to her. Not to me. To her. She read it. Didn't answer. My dad tried a different angle. This is about more than money. You can't delete us. We're your parents. We'll always be here when things go bad for you. I didn't reply to that one at all. Jen blew up my phone for a few days. Voice messages. Screenshots of error pages. Guilt trips. You humiliated us. You made Mom cry. Ethan keeps asking why Uncle Cliff is mad at him. I hope you're happy. I texted Ethan directly. Hey buddy, I'm proud of you for your recital. I'm sorry I wasn't there. Ava got really sick and I had to be with her. I'd love to hear you play sometime, just us. He replied with a voice note of shaky piano keys. I saved it. What surprised me were the quiet messages from other people. My cousin Nate texted. Heard a version of what happened. For what it's worth, I think you're right. They lean on you too much. We all see it. One of my mom's church friends, someone I barely knew, DM'd me on Facebook. Your mother is telling people you abandoned them. I just wanted to say, whatever you did, it's your right to have boundaries. You're a good dad. I saw you in that ER last year when Ava had pneumonia. You never left her side. I read that one twice. Meanwhile, my bank account stayed blessedly boring. No more random dips on the 15th when autopays hit. My insurance payment looked sane. My phone bill was laughably small. At night, I'd sit on the couch with Ava and Maya. We started making our own little traditions. Friday night was our movie night. I made a new profile on Netflix. Just two. Dad, Ava. No, Mom and Dad. No, Jen and Mark. No, Ethan, even though that one stung a little. One evening, Ava scrolled through the profiles and paused. Is Grandma not on here anymore? She asked. No, I said. If she wants Netflix, she can get her own. She considered that. Good, she said quietly, and clicked on her name. Father's Day came 2 weeks later. No card. No text from my parents. Nothing from Jen. I woke up to Ava sitting on my chest, gently pressing a piece of paper against my face. Happy Father's Day, she whispered. Don't move, the glue is still drying. It was a card she'd made. A drawing of me and her standing in front of a yard full of flowers and trees. The grass was bright green. There was a little stone path. It looked almost like one of my designs, except better. On the front she'd written, in careful letters, Best Dad because you picked me first. My vision went blurry for a second. Maya pretended not to notice from the doorway. We spent the day in the backyard of our rented duplex. I'd pulled some strings with a supplier and brought home leftover pavers from a canceled job. Over a few weekends, I turned our patchy grass into a little patio. Ava helped by placing pebbles and choosing where the potted plants went. Maya strung up lights. We grilled cheap burgers on a tiny charcoal grill that took too long to light. I set out 3 chairs around our plastic table. 2 were full. The third stayed empty. I didn't stare at it, but I knew it was there. The only contact I got from my family that day was a passive-aggressive Facebook post my mom shared about honoring fathers who show up for their kids. I scrolled past it. Later that evening, as the sun went down and the lights warmed up over our heads, my phone buzzed with a new text. From an unknown number. Hey, it's Ethan. Mom changed her number. I got your text. Thanks for the message. Happy Father's Day, Uncle Cliff. Ava is lucky. I showed it to Ava. Her whole face lit up. Can we invite him over sometime? She asked. Maybe, yeah, I said. If he wants to come. She thought about it, then nodded. We can save him a chair, she said. I looked at the empty one and smiled a little. Yeah, I said. We can. I went inside and stuck Ava's card on the fridge, right next to the screenshot I'd printed of the 11:47 p.m. confirmation email. 2 pieces of paper. One from the night I finally stopped being their wallet. One from the morning my kid told me I was enough. I didn't need any other proof of what kind of father I was. This story is about realizing your family values your utility more than your child's life, and choosing her anyway. Cliff spent years funding his family's phone plans, insurance, and streaming while they treated his daughter Ava as less important than his nephew. When he rushed Ava to the ER with an asthma attack and missed his nephew's recital, his sister texted, We're canceling your Father's Day gift. You don't deserve it. His mother added, Family priorities. The issue wasn't the recital, it was hierarchy. For years, Cliff funded their lives while Ava got generic gifts, was cropped from photos, and treated as background. They expected him to prioritize his nephew's performance over his daughter's breathing, then punished him when he chose differently. When Cliff removed everyone from his accounts at 11:47 p.m., he wasn't being petty. He was matching values with consequences. While Ava slept after nearly being hospitalized, he quietly removed them from everything. No announcement. Just action. What this teaches. When family punishes you for choosing your child's emergency over their convenience, believe them. They sent nephew photos while Ava had an 4 in her arm. People benefiting from your accounts call you petty when you stop, but never call themselves entitled. His sister cried about ruined movie night, never mentioning Ava's breathing. The most loving act is letting people experience life without your subsidies. They panicked about services, not the relationship, proving they valued his money, not him.